You already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. Hey, before y'all do anything else, please make sure y'all follow us on all of our social medias. Facebook, we on that. Instagram, we on that. X, we on that. TikTok, we on that. Hey, make sure y'all even like and subscribe because we're always giving y'all that content the exclusive way. Yeah, that's right. You said. Uh, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look,
Ooh.
yesterday was pretty crazy. We had a pretty eventful day. And, we got to talk about first PLE first. The one that almost we didn't even know was on. It wasn't even on YouTube until we looked at it because I swear we thought it was on Peacock, but they gave this one for the world. Y'all gave it, and you know what? At first I was like, man, what y'all doing? But I liked what y'all did. It got some people some chances to be showcased. Okay, I mean it was great, of course, to see my man, the young OG, go crazy and get bouncy. And I know people seeing it on YouTube. I say, you know what? This is good. I'm not even upset about this. But we got to kick it off and talk about the first match that happened. I mean, because of course we want to talk about lucha libre. We want to talk about real Mexican style wrestling. Okay, this right here, amazing match, Mr. Iguana. Okay, first of all, Mr. Iguana, with that him with that iguana was just going crazy anyway. But the LWO was out there doing their thing, man. I really love to see what they did, and honestly, to have Santana. Oh, my bad. I'm saying Santana like I'm going crazy. That my man Conan. I think about Santana because they used to work together when they was in LWO, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, but to have my man Conan on commentary, well, I thought it was amazing. It was great. He told the stories, told you who some of these wrestlers were, told you some of the terminologies that go on in Lucha Libre, giving y'all history. Let's look. I wasn't mad about a thing that Conan said, not one time. But one thing I thought was so genuine. I said, man, this man has got the love like no other. My man Rey Mysterio. Now, of course, Dirty Don would say something different, but the love that this man got from AAA, the love and respect that this man Ray gets, and that man, come on. That man is like that. And he's respected like that. And I've said this plenty of times before. If your last name is Mysterio or Guerrero, good luck. And he's got one of them. And he's one of the greatest of all time. The Dominic Mysterio, but it's what it is. But hey, the first match, they definitely killed it. It was great to see, of course, Mr. Iguana. What the iguana? Going crazy. Yeah. But it was good. LWO came out on top, got a nice little dub. Actually, they came out with very, not even like so many close interactions. But even with them losing, wasn't something that they actually needed. But it was great to see, man. It was just great seeing those lucha libres just getting crazy, going crazy. Overall, great match. Couldn't be mad about it. Something that I'll definitely watch again, and we need to see more of the lucha libre style. Honestly, saying this makes me think, of course, of good old AAA wrestling. Of course, some may remember Lucha Underground. Okay, that used to go crazy. Had some greats like Prince Puma. Penta was also on there. Ray Phoenix. Okay. If you don't know who Prince Puma is,
Prince Puma's that dude.
come on now. If you know who he is, go on AEW. Go for it. All right, Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, man. I thought excellent way to begin the show. For me, the person of this match was Mr. Iguana. I think he kind of stole the show. What I enjoyed about this match, in particular, wrestling aside, was just his facial expression, his eyes. Like they tell stories where everything was going on. Anytime they put him in a movie, his eyes would be so big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he was doing it, but it was awesome. Great match. I thought it was a good way to start the show off. And you're right, Conan. Dropping a bunch of knowledge on the lucha libre style and how they do things down in AAA was great. And it's just crazy though when I was sitting there, watching Conan. I was like, I watched this man as a kid wrestle. You just it's like great day. And now he's older, obviously, but he's sitting here and he's doing commentary, and I just couldn't help but just keep having flashbacks of my time watching him in WCW, and how much I used to enjoy him there. And just the product WCW had at one point. I started thinking about the Conans, the Dean Malenkos, the Ultimo Dragon, all of that type of stuff. And but yeah, but the match itself, excellent match. Great way to start the show. Like I said, I love this type of wrestling because again, I love to see the athleticism involved. But what I picked up on with the AAA stuff is they have a lot of showmanship in there as well, which I really do
Hmm.
enjoy that stuff too. So yeah, excellent match. Great, great way to start the show. And I also like the fact that WWE didn't just go in and just bury all of AAA's talent. Like, some AAA members won matches and things of that nature. So it was kind of even throughout the night and all that kind of stuff. So I really like seeing that when you're talking about a partnership between a new company and then, the behemoth that WWE is. And we know from time to time, WWE tends to, put their talent over more often than not, especially when you're talking about lesser promotions, when you say like a AAA or in NXT TNA's situation. NXT going over a lot with the TNA wrestlers, so you're starting to see them balance it out. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was good to see that real balance. 'Cause that was one thing I noticed that Conan did say. He said, "Yeah, AAA got one, WWE got one." I said,
Yeah, well,
"Okay,
yep. I
somebody's
was
keeping count."
so we keeping count. Yep, I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like
He said, he said, "How many we got?" He said, "We got one." And y'all, I was like,
Dog it.
"Oh," I said,
No,
"Okay."
yep.
I said, "Okay." He said, "The
Because I was keeping
competition's
count
up."
too. That's right. That's right. I was keeping count myself because I was like, man, I hope they don't go in here and just every WWE wrestler just wins. I'm like, come on
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, because
They
I was
didn't do
like,
it.
man, we gotta let it be fair. But they did
Yeah.
good. They did good. But of
Yeah.
course, the next match that they had was completely entertaining. Of course, okay, with Delise and Sheik Tomita going up against Lola Vice from Vice City, baby, and La Primera City Valkyrie. Great match overall, entertaining. What I loved, I think my favorite part, and I'm sure a lot of people would say the same thing. Of course, we got the double,
Ah, ah,
okay,
ah, ah.
from 75 Care and Lola Vice. Okay, I don't know how
Yes.
Lola Vice picked up on that so quickly, but hey, she might have a new move on her hands. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. But I think overall, great match. Showed honestly a lot more versatility for Lola Vice. I was hoping Lola would do a little bit more. I said, come on now, Steph out here doing double duty. She got don't be having Steph out here doing most of the work now. Now Lola picked up very well. I thought she looked great against both of the veterans that she was going up against. So that was good. But overall, great match, really entertaining. Crowd was into it. And again, it's not pretty meta. That woman has aura. There's nothing else I got to say about that. Y'all know it. Come on. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah. Again, another good match. Women's, like I said, Worlds Collide was just good. It was a great show.
Real
Especially
fun.
leading into my real fun to watch. And Lola Vice, I hope that this pushes her a little bit further under the NXT brand, showing that she can go out here in a different type of wrestling style, and then hold her own because I had a feeling that they would not be featuring Stephanie a lot in the sense that we knew that she also had Money in the Bank later that evening, and it was also one of those things. Even with with that specifically is I was like, man, I hope none of the wrestlers get injured going into Money in the Bank. So, but Lola Vice, she held her on, and seeing these women go at it, I mean, they were phenomenal. They put on a really good match, and then of course you get the double Devil's Kiss, and I mean, the crowd love it. I love it. It's just, it's the silliest thing in the world, but it's just it works, man. I said it yesterday. I get a kick out of watching Stephanie Baker, like watching her reaction to it. When she gets up, like seeing her laugh or smiling, because I know she's probably thinking the same thing. This is preposterous. Like to hear the crowd doing it and making that noise like you're beating somebody's face in the ground. Because yesterday, even the Money in the Bank, when we get to that, she did it and she just
That
got
was
up and was
great.
laughing, man. It was
That
great.
was
It
great.
was great. It
That
really
was great.
was. Yeah. I said, and what's the name? Corey's like, I wish Booker T was here. I do too. Because
We all
Booker
do.
T be getting into it, man. I
He
caught him
do.
like the week before, whatever, the 2 weeks ago when she was wrestling and when she lost the title, Booker T was in the background, and every time he was going like he was doing a hand gesture. And I just say he's too into it, man. Booker T, he has put that move over big time. And I love how, like you said yesterday, she points the Booker right before she does it every time. Oh yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, man.
but no, good match,
Oh,
good match. Lola Vice did really well. Like I said, I hope this means something for her going back into NXT because we said that like a couple on a couple shows ago how at one point Lola Vice was being was receiving a push. She had her title match, lost, and then she kind of faded into obscurity. So hopefully this is putting her back on the mat.
yeah, man. I'm hoping so, man. If she need to get something. Again, mid card or something. Y'all already done had her, you know, in that little mix with JC Jane and all of them. So let's make something happen. Let's make something work. It's a lot of women. Speaking of that, of course, love to see Lash Legend during that whole segment too and get her a shine. That was a
Yeah,
great
yeah,
thing to
yeah,
say. Did it
yes.
over Lonnie, but hey, I'm
Yeah.
all for it. Because that was the second week in a
I can
row
tell
when it
she
happened.
did it. Yep, that's
I
the second
said,
week in a row she interrupted
mm.
Lonnie. I said,
I said, I said, okay, we're gonna tell a story here. Let's get it. Let's
yeah.
see.
I'm
She
all
said,
for it because
nobody cares.
yes, I said, oh,
I said,
I,
this is, and the crowd was for it, but
it,
you heard them.
when the legend speaks, you listen.
Hey,
On
come on
Lash,
now.
yeah, when she speaks, you listen, and I hope so too. I hope this is them starting to get ready to use Lash because she's put on great matches when she's been in the ring, and you would have thought by now they would have made her some type of champion and the star that she has the potential to be. But we'll see. We're they're trying to find themselves again because the main shows have done a number on NXTs. I mean, they've taken everybody that just came in. Like Julia's gone, Roxanne is gone, La Primera is gone. Like
Hmm.
so yeah, that like they got to kind of find themselves again. But it's gonna be interesting. It'll be good. I believe Sean will do it. So I'm not even stressing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially all those women. I said, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The only one I was like, I've never seen this girl, and I had to go back was Lainey Reed. I was like, who is this girl? And I said, oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
Don't see her as much, but when I seen, of course, when you hear, they're going for Miss Parker, I was
yeah.
like, this was I'm the
Mm-hmm.
bad. I said, tell him Jada,
Yeah.
tell him who you are. I said this was good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they had a great of course Mariah, man, being the glamorous the one that she is.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah, yeah. It was good seeing Mariah. It's kind of crazy though, and I know we getting away from World Five. We'll get back to it because we didn't get to really discuss NXT and stuff this week. But seeing Mariah there, and I'm just thinking, just like a year ago, she was in such an amazing story with Tony Storm and the whole stealing her identity and all of that type of stuff, and it just it was great. And now she's in WWE, she's on NXT. This is really good. It's one of those things where when now that we've lost those women in WWE or to the main roster, seeing a talent like Mariah May come in and knowing the stories that you can kind of build with her, and she's another one though I don't expect to probably be in NXT long. I'm like just like I really don't expect Ricky Saints to be in NXT long. I think it's one of these things with these ladies, or with Ricky Saints and Mariah May specifically, where they're there to kind of just get a quick tutorial of the WWE style of like working the cameras and all that kind of stuff, how they like to do things and
hmm
call things in the ring, all that kind of stuff. And then they go on to the main roster. But it's still good to have Mariah May and enjoy her in this setting while we have her. And it's gonna get real in NXT women's division for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of hungry women we saw on NXT coming out.
Yeah. But fan from what Lash says, a lot of women that's already had their turn. I said,
No,
you
no,
know what,
yeah,
Lash? I
yeah.
said, you right. I said, you ain't lying
But don't
about
give Lash her turn right now,
nothing you
because
said.
yeah, don't give her turn right now because they're gonna give old girl at least one opportunity to defend the belt and win. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it
want
can't,
anything
and it
against
can,
that.
give it to Laney Reed. Let Laney Reed get a
Yeah,
little
let
one
her
and
take the
done
pin.
match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Not with Lash though. Lash got
No,
to
don't
get it.
start
She
with
got to
Lash.
get
Yeah.
that title. But the next match we got to talk about, which was actually a hell of a 6-man match, Legado del Fantasma going against Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. And I mean, this was again banger, banger. Now I would have said they was having fun, but when it came to Legado del Fantasma, I don't think there was no fun in games when it came to those guys right there. They came and played no games. Okay, it was all about business, and I ain't talking to her business. At this point,
We
I
hurt
thought to
people.
myself, "Come on now." Well, I knew something was going on once all three of these men came in camo.
And
I said,
army
"Okay, hold on,
fatigues.
come
Let's
on, bro."
go. I said, this is business right here.
You know what I'm saying? I said they going to war tonight. Something about whatever they. I said they had this camo. I said, nah, they not playing. They not playing any games about what they about to do right here, right now. And they didn't. Honestly, to the point where I mean the spots were crazy. To the point where it was just my man, oh my God, uh, Jesus, the leader of Legado del Fantasma. Um,
Escobar.
yes,
Santos
Santos Escobar.
Escobar.
Like, what the heck? So, yeah, Santos Escobar, I mean, finishing off the match, by the way,
Hmm.
going crazy in the last, what, 5, 7 minutes. Just finishing off, getting the dub. And honestly, I said, this is the momentum that they need. Now, I'm hoping with this propels them for something else. Maybe King of the Ring. I don't know. We saying I just got it now, so we'll see how that goes. But Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Man, King of the Ring. I hope they actually do like it's not what it used to be back in the
No,
past.
no.
Uh, so I hope this year they get it right and actually do something with the King of the Ring winners. But this match in particular, like I said, I got hyped for when I saw him come out in Army Fatigues. I thought that was dope. It looked like they meant business, and when they got in the ring, they stood on business. And I love to see it for Legado del Fantasma because, like I said, for the longest time now, they have just been pretty much the pin kings. Like, they anytime they're in a match, they're going to take the L, they're going to take the pin. And so this last month, they've started to receive a little bit of a push. They came out here today and it's strictly business with the WWE logo strapped
Yeah.
to the Army fatigues. I loved it, and they put on one hell of a match. And Santos Escobar, he pulled it out, as the leader of that faction of that group. He did what the leader should do, and pulled out in the clutch and pulled it out in the clutch and got the win, man. And I'm happy for him because I think this is big for them going into their time in SmackDown. Hopefully they keep this momentum. And I just like seeing new groups like start to come up and WWE start to do something with them, other than using them for the same things over and over and over. Like I said, a lot of times taking L's. But if they can keep coming out with this type of energy and putting on these types of performances, hey, we're gonna have to start looking at Legado del Fantasma as like as a real thing, as a real problem. I know WWE doesn't have like you know what is it? What are the belts for? 3-man tag teams, but
Oh, the trio.
the trio
Yeah.
championships. But I mean, this is good, man. That's a good faction, and like I said, I think they starting to find themselves, and it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think some people are speculating maybe since they got with AAA that there might be a trios championship coming soon.
I
If that
mean,
happens, I don't know how they can pull that off. But again, this is WWE we're talking.
yeah,
Right.
and I wouldn't be mad at it at a trios championship.
Yeah.
But the only thing about it is the thing with WWE is they don't do like, man, back in the day, tag teams used to be like legit. Like, seeing tag team wrestling, the way they treated tag team wrestling, it was legit. And I think they're slowly but surely getting back to that in the sense of like you think about the Profits who are they're up right now. And you think about DIY and the way they started to been they're starting to give these different tag teams the time of day and all that kind of stuff on SmackDown pay-per-views. And they put on such great shows that I'm hoping that, creative sees this and do more with tag teams. Because I was thinking just yesterday, or just last night myself, I'm like, man, Liv Morgan's out here with Dirty Dom. She's the women's tag championship. They're at Money in the Bank. There's no titles on the line. There's no title defense. And for some reason, WWE just seems to do that with their tag team titles. They don't feature them as often as I feel like they should.
Yeah, they
And
definitely featured them last night.
yeah, and then
Definitely.
and then they throw stuff. They throw people together for tag matches that aren't tag teams, and all the time it's like that's a spot that you should have given to tag team teams. Like actual tag team team members versus giving us a tag team match with John Cena and Logan Paul versus uh Cody Rhodes and Jay. Like
James.
that should have been an actual tag team spot. Maybe you had the tag team titles on the line against, like I don't know, but again, it's not perfect.
Got
Nothing's
ladders.
perfect. Yep, we got tables, we got ladders and chairs, and but yeah, it was still a good thing to see. Like I said, Legado del Fantasma get the win because I felt like they needed it. I think this was the right call here specifically for this match, especially with the way that they have been building them for the last couple of weeks. For it to pay off in a victory, it's good things here.
Yeah, yeah, man. I agree, 100%. And of course, the next match, a match where my man, the young OG, got bouncy. Okay, Ray Phoenix. I mean, again, looked like he was at home. Come on, man. And Laredo Kid honestly, Laredo Kid was going crazy. But of course, to see my man Ray Phoenix and the young OG going crazy in there was probably my favorite parts of the match. Ethan Page, of course, doing what he always does, being all ego, getting the dub, the good old heel way. But most importantly, I loved how the crowd received the young OG. I think how they looked at he looked like he was just ready to be with everybody else. Funny thing, okay, the end of the PLE when Kingo was, at the end of beating, and we'll talk about that in a second. Man says, look at all the Mexican wrestlers out there. Now, the funny thing was, all the Mexican wrestlers were out there, and Javon Evans. But ain't nobody said nothing about that. I said, look at Javon, the only one. I said, man, talk about representation, boy. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That man is beloved everywhere. Young OG, you got it, bro. Prince, what's your dust, man? What you think?
Yeah, I thought this was great. Another good match showing. I mean, when you can put, Javon Evans with his style of wrestling, and you put in the lucha libre style that's also kind of high flying, and then of course you got the one man that might be out of his element here is Ethan Page, but he's got so much ego you wouldn't even recognize or realize that. But yeah, I thought it was great, man, and I'm always impressed. I'm every time I'm just so impressed with Javon Evans and his growth from the first time that we were introduced to this gentleman to where he is now. For him to be able to step foot into a lucha libre style of match and hold his own, keep up, show his athleticism. Like it was just like it was a great match. That's all I can say. And I really want to give Javon Evans his props on just being able to be just an amazing showman when he's in the ring. Like I said, with his athleticism, his talent, like he can go with just about anybody. And it's just impressive because he's been in front of us now for what, a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
And when he first came out, I was like, he's good in the ring, but I don't know, how he's not good on the mic. He's not
Yeah,
good
it's kind of
cutting
crazy. We've
promos.
really been covering him for a year. Like
Yeah, and
since
in
we
that
started, we've
year,
been talking. It's really crazy.
yeah, and in that year's time, he's already like he's gotten way better on the mic. His performances in the ring are just top notch. Like, in the beginning, it was just about being bouncy, just jumping and bouncing all over things. But he's, you're seeing that he can do the technical side of things. He can do the athletic side of things. He can get on the mic, and that's phenomenal growth. And I believe he has said before that Shawn Michaels like really works with him. He goes in and is able to like sit down, review stuff with him. and get that to help with that growth, help nurture him. And he's really like seems like to be one of Sean's favorites in NXT. And I think that's awesome and it's great for him because you can see that he's really taking to the knowledge, the experience of someone like a Shawn Michaels. And I'm sure there's other people there that's helping to develop him as well. And it's showing because in a year and a half time, like we have wrestlers now that we're still like, man, they need development. They've been wrestling in front of us now for like 4, 5, 6 years. We like nothing against it. Not trying to call anybody out specifically, but I am calling like we talk about all the time because we always say like Jade is getting so much better. She performs a super kick, and we're like, yeah, she's getting so much better. She's getting better. Like, but she's been wrestling for a while now. You know what I mean? And so you would think by now, we would be just impressed that she could do a super kick, or do a body slam, or things of that nature. But it happens. Jade has come a long way as well. I mean, it's to the point now that if she was to be a title winner, it would be like make sense. It'd be understandable. And so yeah, but
Yeah,
Javon Evans specifically in the last year, that man has just taken off, man. It's good.
it really
Definitely good.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's really crazy, man. Just seeing again, pause the growth that we've seen this man, the young OG, just going crazy, get bouncy, and just showing how good he is, man. I'm
Yeah.
proud of him.
Yeah.
Proud of
Yeah.
him.
He's good. He's phenomenal, man. He doesn't he's been legit. He really has.
Yes, man. And then, of course, the last match we got to talk about was the main event. Man, honestly, come on. Okay. Okay. Look, Delvin Kingo versus Chad Gable. Bruh, man, look. Chad, 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 Chad. You really showed, you really showed who you were. I loved everything you did. From the backstage promo that you cut, when you came out and they was chanting, you suck. I don't care what
Yes.
people keep trying to say. Look at what he's doing. Look at what Chad Gable is doing. This is organically getting over. Stop playing with this man, Chad, man. Great work. Every spot he did was just superb. Every wrestle, like he really showed his like how he adapted to the lucha libre style. Again, stop playing with Chad Gable. That man's been ready, willing, and Gable. Sick of this. Y'all keep playing with this man.
Hey,
And
come on
stop
now.
playing with El Grande Americano. Like they the same people. They're not. They're two different people. They just know each other.
We keep trying to tell y'all.
I don't get it.
I don't get
Heartbreak
it either.
Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Chad Gable, man. I've said it and I said it and I will keep on saying it. I'm gonna be I just it's just criminal what they have done with Chad Gable and the fact that he has not held championship gold, singles championship gold, uh, by now. That man is just a phenomenal performer in the ring. And when you're talking about someone that's championship worthy or championship caliber, you're talking about somebody like a Chad Gable. And it's just again another wrestler that is just so athletic, so good at what he does. And I just don't know what it is about Chad Gable where WWE and WWE Creative won't give him the opportunity to be an Intercontinental Champion, to be a United States Champion. Something in that realm. And then, of course, depending on how that run goes, to be a world champion. I mean, you think about what Daniel Bryan had to go through in order to either be viewed as that, because of course, Vince loved his guys to be the big brawny, his champions to be in that ilk. And you got somebody like Daniel Bryan, who's just a talent and not necessarily in that ilk, but the fans chose him, and they had to listen. Sort of like something else that happened later on in Money in the Bank. So it shows that the fans' voices have power, and that if we're loud enough about it, the WWE they have to listen. But in this case with Chad Gable, I wish it was the same way, and I hope it gets to that point because I would hate to see this man, not have an opportunity during his time in WWE to hold gold of any sort, especially with the way they do releases nowadays. because he's just been too good for too long. And so yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like when Chad Gable is in a match, it doesn't surprise me that it's going to be good because Chad Gable is good. And so yeah, I love Chad Gable, and I hope there's some good things in his future as far as him being put into those premier positions where he can carry a title and just be great.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because I know he did sign that contract. I think it's like a seven. I think it was like a 7 year contract he had signed.
Yeah,
So he's definitely gonna be with them for a long time. It's just we got to see this man get some gold, man.
yeah,
He
man,
he
he
said
needs
he's
it.
a WWE for lifer, so make him
Yes,
a champion for
yes,
lifer.
yes, sir. Ready? I'm ready, willing, and Gable. I'm,
Come on, bro.
I'm ready, willing, and
Come on.
Gable, man. I'm all for it. Like he is
Come on.
one of my favorite wrestlers to watch in WWE. He
I
really is.
really like what he's doing, man. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy because even when I was watching a match with him, and this is when he was still tagging with Jason Jordan, American
Yep.
him, the Vaughn Villains,
Yeah. Oh, the
like
vaudevillains. That was Mr.
great.
Exclusive guys right there.
The Vaughn Villains, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it was Alexa Bliss. It was who she was. This is when it was Buddy Murphy. I can't remember the other guy, but it was
Yeah.
when she actually used to tag. But I don't know why I can't think of their names. This is killing me right now. But they had like a and gosh, an FTR, which was the revival at the time.
Yeah.
All and they had a fatal four-way tag team, and I said, my God, this match here. I said, people don't even know this was the time you couldn't
Yeah.
go. I seen a card from 2017 on NXT. I said, man, take me back. Some of this
Take,
stuff, some of these stars, you can't see them anymore. They don't
take
got
me
that
there.
same
I want to
aura.
go there.
That was a good time, man.
It was.
What?
Yeah. 2017 NXT was great. Before they went to NXT 2.0, NXT was
Yeah,
phenomenal. Yeah.
it really was, man. But we want to talk about something that was phenomenal. Talk about Money in the Bank. Because how they did it, I mean, honestly, not too far after Worlds Collide was done, they was already just ready to kick off the pre-show. And we got right into it with the first Money in the Bank match, which was something that we told y'all again.
To
I mean, I'm
proceed
with
with
caution.
caution.
Look, man, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how many times we got to keep telling y'all these things. When we tell y'all, okay, when we knew, but we had told y'all a month ago it was going to be Naomi. Look at the shorts. Look at the TikToks. We told y'all. Okay, if anybody was going to win, it was
Yeah.
going to be Naomi.
Yeah.
Get the caution tape on the briefcase. It's done. Told
Yeah.
y'all. Look, that match was, by the way, hands down, probably one of my favorite matches of the night.
It was. Yeah.
Those women put on the show.
The girls
Okay,
delivered,
cool.
boy. They delivered. Yeah.
Seeing the Devil's Kiss
Oh,
that
ah,
Stephanie
ah,
Valkyrie
ah,
did to
ah.
Rhea. And out of all people, Rhea, come
Rhea took the devil's
on
kiss.
the
Yeah.
ladder, on
Yeah.
the ladder,
Yeah.
on the top of they man.
WWE, if y'all out there listening, I'd like to take a devil's kiss. Hey, get me in the ring.
Man, what crazy, crazy. The spot they did where they picked up Alexa Bliss, dropped her on the. I said, oh
Phenomenal.
my
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. Yeah.
great work,
It was great work.
phenomenal match. A lot of times I thought, oh shoot, might be Roxanne Perez's. Oh, like they had me a couple of times. But again, great match. I loved it. And again, we told y'all to proceed with
With
caution.
caution.
Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
This was great. This was great, and I liked it because they delivered with Naomi winning, and Naomi just even her coming out. I think the crowd felt it. I think everybody felt it. I mean, just her coming out with the glow and it had all the caution tape that was glowing on her. I thought that was awesome. The fans were really vibing with Naomi for her to be the heel that she is. They were really vibing with her. And then I mean, it was great because you just had 6 women that are just phenomenal. You love them all, like each and every last one of them are like they're all stars. Like, so it's kind of one of those things was like, man, who's going to be able to win this? Who's going to really pull this out? Because are they going to go with Mommy in the Bank? Because she is so over the. I mean, she's always over. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I can't remember a time she wasn't like, from day one, ish. But yeah, it's just it's Julia Roxanne, Perez, the prodigy herself. She delivered big time in this Money in the Bank. And then of course Stephanie Vaquer, that lady had what wrestled, I think he said 3 matches in 24
In
hours. And there was
24
I said,
hours.
oh my gosh, and she's
SmackDown,
still
Worlds Collide, and then
SmackDown
back
Worlds
on Money
Collide,
in the
and then
Bank.
right in the Money in the Bank, and she still delivered and performed. I mean, I just thought the ladies, Alexa Bliss, she's just always a darling, just so cute. But it was just, man, it was awesome. It was a really really good ladder match by the women. Preferably, I preferred the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, to the men's, because the men's was a little bit preposterous toward the middle end of that match. I mean, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it. But the women, they did a phenomenal job. And just to see Naomi climb the ladder, grab the briefcase, the crowd, just take it in, man. That's all I can say. Just take it in, man. It was
Oh,
great, man.
it
I was
was.
so happy for Naomi. And now this could be some for what do you call it? I don't want to say spoiler. What is it? Michael Cole
Foreshadow.
said it. Foreshadowing. Yes, thank you. Michael Cole said it. He was like, "Oh, the women's Money in the Bank winner is 100% on their cash in." And I said, "Oh Lord,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah, I
please,
said, oh, come on,
please,
please
please,
don't do Naomi like that. Yeah,
please
bro.
don't do Naomi like this."
And then you see her at the press conference, they was like, yeah, you
Yes,
deserve it. She's like, shut up. I said,
yes. She was about to break, and I think
yeah. It
she
was Big
she
E.
pulled it in.
It was
I
Big E.
mean,
I didn't know that they were, but that's funny. They probably joke about that because he was like, yeah, we're only a week apart from how long they've been working there when they
uh-huh.
started. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder who started first because whoever started first probably, yeah, I've been wrestling longer than
That's
you.
longer than you.
Like, like
Yeah,
okay, young, and I see. So I can see something like that.
I thought the emotion definitely got to her, or was getting to her. I mean, it's you gotta. I can only imagine, working so hard, and at your craft, and then you get an opportunity like to be able to have the Money in the Bank, or just to have a championship, and the crowd is chanting you deserve it. Like I'm sure that's very much when you think about the sacrifices you probably made your entire career. You're putting your body on the line. I know people like to say, all the time, wrestling is fake. Wrestling is entertainment, people.
Yeah.
And some of these things that happen in the ring are real. You do feel those slams. You do feel those chair shots. You do feel those top rope jumping out onto the announce table and crashing through. Like your body feels that no matter no matter how you or what you may think about it.
Nerves.
So
Or the
yeah. Oh, the chills. It's like it's there, and so you think about all the stuff that you probably go through, the aches and pains that you probably have, because you look at some of these wrestlers after they're done, for it to be fake, or whatever, some of these wrestlers, they are not moving around well at all, knees, fingers bent up, twisted up, backs
see how
bad, like it's
Bianca's looking with her finger.
yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
it takes your toll over time, and so to have these opportunities and to have the crowd chant "You deserve it," I can see why she would get emotional about it. But what I loved was she was able to tap into her professionalism and still stay in character. And girl, like shut up, like it's good. Like Naomi, she has been cooking as this heel, and I don't know if this is something she's probably like always wanted to do in her time in WWE, because as far as since I got back into wrestling, she's always kind of been the face. She's always been the glow, and the come out doing the dancing and then all that kind of stuff or whatever. But this second go since she's come back from after she left WWE and came back, and they gave her this opportunity to go down this path. She has been killing it, and you can tell like she's probably had thought about this and had this in her mind for many years. And now that they're giving her the opportunity to be able to do this, she's killing it, man. Like just everything. I love the razors that she have, in the
Yeah,
hair, the razors in the cake, like this.
yeah.
She's killing it. And
And
now
put the
I'm
caution
excited for
tape
the
around
story.
the cake. I said,
Put the
man,
put the caution tape around the cake. Now you put the caution tape around the briefcase, and now you have this story that I'm so excited about between Naomi, Tiffy Time, Jade Cargill, and
and Nia
Bianca
Jax.
Belair when she gets back. And I can't forget
And
Nia.
Nia
Like
Jax,
Nia
yeah.
Jax. Like this is great. This is gonna have some great story terms, some great long term storytelling over the next year leading into WrestleMania, which I don't know when she's going to cash in. If it's going to be a WrestleMania moment, if it's going to be a SummerSlam moment, or whatever. But they have a great story they can tell because there's such a good genesis there as far as with Bianca and with Jade, and then again you throw in Tiffy, how she's been telling her like, you were in my way the entire time. Every time I tried to go after this championship, you were in my way, and now she could be in. The tables have turned. She can be
Mm-hmm.
in Tiffy's way, and this is gonna be great. This is gonna be
They're gonna
great.
have to proceed with that. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
This is gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I hope they prolong it. Don't let this be quick. Let the story
Let it
build and
go. Let it
let
ride.
this cook. Yeah,
Let it ride. Let
let
it
it
ride.
cook. But the next match, I had to talk about because this was the second match of the night randomly because this happened during Worlds Collide. Dirty Dom going up against Octagon Jr. Now, honestly, not gonna lie, Dirty Dom, for real, seriously, for real, Dirty Dom. You and Liv, y'all came out. First thing I said was, man, Dirty Dom is out here looking like a superstar. Look, I'm tearing up. God, man. Anytime I have moments like that, it's a teary moment. Oh, man, because it's crazy. I've watched you grow up. I watched you grow up on camera. I seen you when you was a kid when Eddie said that was, when that was your fault. Okay. I seen you even again when Ray brought you back. Gosh, man, I'm emotional about this. I don't know what the heck is going on today. Man. Hey, but
Allergies.
Dom,
Allergies.
Dom, you look like a superstar. You and Liv, both of y'all came out walking. I said, man, look at Dirty Dom out here. I said, he's got it. This is the man. This is why we're saying he's the greatest Mysterio of all time. Take notes, Ray. Take notes. Your son's killing it right now. I don't know what to tell you, man. Look, and Ray, I love you, but your son is doing great work, and he got to live when I'm doing it. Man, I just dropped another tear. Ah, it's
Preposterous.
crazy. It's crazy. Didn't say it. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What'd you think? Great match overall. Great match.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this in particular. I love the fact that Dirty Dom was able to kind of get a win without the whole Judgment Day. I know he did have some help from Liv, but they've been a
It's
tandem for
lit.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're kind of like building it to where Dirty Dom is standing on his own 2 feet a little bit. I mean, he's a heel, so of course there's gonna be some dirty way that he wins. He's Dirty Dom, but it's not over the top where everybody's running out and doing stuff to the competition to help him win. It's kind of like little things here that causes it to push the scales into his favor. But yeah, seeing Dirty Dom on Worlds Collide, sitting in the crowd with Liv, those two together are they're awesome. And then for him to come out and get a match, I said, let's go, Dirty Dom, let's go. Calling shots like, okay, I'll
And
see
the
you tonight
crowd
at Money
popped
in the
for it
Bank,
too.
and the crowd popped for
Popped
it.
for it.
And I'm like, this guy has come a long way, and this is great. And then he's backing out, he's leaving, and he's talking to the camera, and he's like, I am the greatest Mysterio and the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all
Of all
time.
time.
I said, I'm starting to agree.
That's,
I have to agree.
he got it. I don't know
it's
what it
it's
is.
diabolical, but no, it's Dirty Dom doing Dirty Dom things, and we've been saying that for a while, and it's just good to see. And yeah, good match, especially for to have Octagon Jr. be in there and to be introduced, like again the crossover from AAA to WWE. Put on a great last minute match. I say last minute, I'm sure it was planned, but great last minute match. Dirty Dom gets the victory, remains the Intercontinental Champion, remains the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, remains the greatest Mysterio of all time. So what can we complain about, people? What can we say?
Great. You know what? I throw in another one. Greatest Judgment Day member of all time.
Greatest
That's
Judgment
it.
Day member of all time, maybe besides Ron Killings, but but yeah, absolute.
Oh man, but we got to talk about the next match, and this one was a little interesting. Honestly, no surprises here. I really, again, great match overall. I really thought we were going to see Bailey or something in the lines of Bailey, but no Bailey at all. Becky getting the dub, but not getting the dub over Lyra Valkyrie. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this didn't kill no momentum for Lyra. I feel like at the same time, because of course, yeah, I raised your hand, but she did it disrespectfully. And respectfully, Lyra, I liked it a whole bunch. Keep doing what you're doing. Becky getting the Intercontinental Championship, all right. But I thought it was crazy at the press conference, though. She said something about Naomi. Talked about how when Naomi walked out, Naomi said she don't care. She ain't worried about it. She said anybody's title's on the line. Now, again, please, let's not give Naomi the mid-card champion right now. If anything, this woman needs to go for the main card title. Picky's title. Okay. Let's stick to that. But on the main front, like the match, great match overall. Lyra, of course, delivers as she always does. Interest, the people pop for her. People pop for Lyra's. Yeah, we pop for her.
Woo!
Yeah, popping for her, man. I loved it. I like when she with wings and everything. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, cool. I see it. I see the vision. Fly away, Lyra. Fly away. Great match, though. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, these two are finding themselves, man, in the ring together. Their chemistry is getting better and better with every match. Loved it. We kind of knew, or at least had a feeling that Becky Lynch was probably going to go over here. So I don't really know if that was really a surprise pick in this case here. The match ended about how I expected it to end. And then it kind of fed into even more storytelling with the way, Lyra kind of snapped and gave Becky another beat down, or gave Becky the beat down, after raising her hand. So I think this is good. I mean, I really do think it's best for business right now. Becky's cooking, and now you put a title like this on her, another prestigious title to add to her collection of titles and things that she's achieved in WWE. And I wonder if this makes her pass Charlotte at this point.
It
It probably does.
does. It
Charlotte,
does.
yeah, because
Because
Charlotte's never had. Yeah, I think they've all had the same titles before, and Charlotte obviously has never had the Intercontinental. So, but yeah, I mean, Becky. I mean, she deserves it. Again, I may not be the biggest Becky Lynch fan. I like Becky Lynch. I'm just not a huge fan of Becky Lynch. But this return of hers has been really good, and she's been doing some really great work. And then I think her and Lyra work really well together. I don't want to see Naomi challenge Becky for the Intercontinental Championship. I want to see Naomi take the World Championship. And so I think this spot here for Becky would be great once the feud with her and Lyra finishes up. Will be a great opportunity for somebody like a Roxanne Perez, or maybe Stephanie Valkyrie, or a Julia, somebody in that ilk, to kind of step in and start challenging for this title to become or to start to build themselves to working toward the world title, because Michael Cole kept pushing that a lot as well. He kept talking about Julia, Roxanne, and Stephanie Valkyrie, and how they are all future world championship title holders. And so you can see where they're going with those three ladies in particular. Like, they're getting ready to start making them the new age, or the new faces for the women's division. Sort of like when we had Bailey, Charlotte, and Becky come into the WWE and enter onto the women's roster. How they started replacing the Bella Twins, and people of that nature, or whatever.
the
As
Natalias and
the
even on the Johnson.
Natalias,
Or
yeah.
Alicia
Oh yeah.
Fox.
The Alicia
Yeah.
Fox. Oh, hey, I wonder what
God,
Alicia's
man.
out there doing now these days.
She's on Impact now. She's doing
Okay.
stuff with Robert Stone. Yeah. I've been
Okay.
seeing her. I've been
Okay.
like, man, she's still kicking, boy.
Good.
I forgot her name on there, but But I seen her on there a lot. She's like, I'm like, all right, as long as she's still
Still got
working
them
and doing
long
something.
legs going,
Yeah, just
huh?
scissor.
But yeah. So it's good. I mean, like I said, it's good because it was funny because the way the women's Money in the Bank match started too, real quick, was it was like the new heads versus the old heads. And they started
Yeah,
fighting in the match. But you can see clearly that they got a picture or a vision for the women's division, and it's getting ready to start centering around these people like Lyra Valkyria, Julia, Roxanne, Stephanie Valkyria, and so it's going to be good. I think the women's division is in a good spot in both NXT and on WWE main rosters because of the talent that is coming out of NXT. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. And honestly, I think one thing I noticed too with Becky, I said, she wasn't the man that night. It was almost like she came out as big time Bex.
Yeah.
No, she came up with the
The
jacket. I
mink
said,
or whatever it was. Yeah.
yeah. I said, this big time Bex. And then the font and everything was different. I said, okay, this is big time Bex look. I said, okay, this is what we're going back to because you get a title now. You're
Yeah.
going back to the big time. All right, I'm with it. I'm okay with it. Just make it happen. I'm gonna tell you this: you ain't gonna beat Bianca in 3 seconds like you did the last time.
No, not you can beat no Bianca in 3 seconds.
Bianca, Bianca.
Get out of here.
But the next match we got to talk about, which is something that I mean, talk about. We talk about storyline. We talk about how good is this getting. Honestly, it's the match that I thought had a lot of funny moments, especially because of Solo. Solo really it made me want to watch this again. I really enjoyed watching Solo just being a damn fool. I mean, even to the point when they were beating Seth up, and then he was just sitting and watching. Oh, yeah, I said, man, I said, Solo is something else, man. That guy, he got me. He got me. But you want to talk about somebody that got him? Talk about something that somebody that got.
From coast to coast and post to post.
Man, yada I mean. Look, again, we told y'all this a month, 2 months ago. When Jacob fought, before he won the title, we told y'all this was gonna happen. What's going on, man? Look. Jacob fought too. And honestly, in my opinion, I was a little shocked. I was shocked he did it at the Money in the Bank. I ain't think this would have been a nice. I don't see Jacob really doing that tonight. I said, if anything, maybe it'll happen on the SmackDown or maybe on the SummerSlam. That was not the case. Jacob went crazy. He was tired. Look, Jacob heard some stuff that him and Jeff Cobbs was talking about. So I knew it immediately. I said, man, maybe this is what fueled him. This is what pissed him off. When he looked up and he told him, I hate you, didn't even say Solo. The crowd said it. They finished the sentence for him. The crowd was waiting for it. We was waiting for it. Jacob, it's your time. Look, and I'm going to tell y'all again, like I said before, like I've been saying, the Bloodline storyline still continues. This is the Bloodline story. Solo, Fatu, yeah. Now, I only wonder what happens now with Solo and Jeff Cobb. I'm not calling him JC Mateo. I promise y'all I'm not. You will never hear me say that. I will always call him Jeff Cobbs because that is still Jeff Cobbs. I'm telling you now, look, greatness of what they did, Jacob by himself. What I'm wondering now is if Tama Tonga and Tonga Lowe's going to come back into the mix. Whose side are they on? And at this point, I think Tama Tonga is coming back with Jacob 5-2. I don't think they already done had that connection. They didn't want to leave. Come on. Who wouldn't want to see Jacob and the Tongas? Come on now. That was good stuff. Yeah. Hey, we might not see much from Tonga Loa. He ain't got to say much. Honestly, Tonga Loa could just stand there. Okay. But as long as we got Jacob and Tama, we're good. We're good. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts? What you think? And of course, to see Seth get the W, again, we told y'all. Now look, we didn't get that cash in, but it might happen on Monday. It might happen on Monday. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it happen, but it could happen on Monday, especially the way Jay was looking. But hey, great match overall. I like what they did. Y'all played with us with LA Knight. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy. Y'all played with that. That just, Triple H want to talk about, great things on the rise. You been had great things on the rise with LA Knight. Eli Drake. Yeah. Give me a dummy button. Y'all playing with this man. Trip, you're killing me. Dummy. Yeah. Dummy. Yeah. You're killing me. What's your thoughts, man? What you think?
No, you just took the words out of my mouth. When it started, I was thinking, oh man, I think we might be in for a shocker tonight. I think LA Knight is actually going to win this because like they were
That's what
picking
I
him,
thought.
the crowd was going crazy for him. I was like, oh, this might actually be LA Knight. They may actually go a different route, and I think that probably would have made it better. Made it, I mean, I know we knew that we didn't know, but we picked Naomi to be like the huge favorite to win the Money in the Bank here, and she won. But it's the story that you have going on with her, and it's no different here with Seth Rollins. It's a great story going on around Seth Rollins and what he's trying to do. But I think it would have been a good surprise to see LA Knight get the briefcase because then it's like, okay, we're finally getting ready to start to board the LA Knight train. Because like I said yesterday, like a year and a half ago, he was like hot, like like just we thought for sure this was going to be in his future, like starting now, and it didn't go that way. Now, I thought the match itself and the Money in the Bank men's ladder match itself was great. We got preposterous for me was just all of the interference of the factions coming out and stuff like that. Like
Oh yeah.
I get like I guess I get like that's going to play a factor or play a role in these types of matches. But I think too often now with Money in the Bank, we keep seeing this be a thing because I want to say it started with
I think
Carmella
Damian
where they did
Priest.
that a while
Oh,
ago where
Carmella. Oh yeah,
yeah,
with
where they
James
had some
Ellsworth.
yeah, and it was like yeah, and it was like
He
yeah,
dropped the briefcase to her.
he just dropped the briefcase to, like and then it was like nobody really knew how to accept that at the time. So I think if I remember correctly, they redid it like the
They
very
did it
next
again
night.
on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like,
And
wait a
then
minute,
she got it again.
she got it again, and I feel like that keeps being a thing where you keep getting these outside people coming in, wrecking shop, and then allowing a person to climb the ladder and get it versus just having a match and letting the person overcome everybody and climb and get. Like if Seth had just done
Yeah.
it without all the interference, and I know I'm nitpicking, but that's the stuff that to me, I'm just like, all right, we see this too much. Like it's gonna be Seth. Just let Seth do it. Like we don't need Braun and Bronson Reed to come out here. We don't need Jacob
Which
and
even
Jeff
though
Cobb to come out.
Braun freaking killed El Grande, I said, "Oh my god,
Gosh.
he's just a missile. This man is a
Yeah.
missile."
But yeah, and so that took a little bit of the luster off of it for me, just a little bit. Like I said, it was still a good match. I just feel like, come on, man. Like, all right, it's enough of them in the ring. It's 6 men, fighting for this thing. Let them do their thing, climb the ladder, and get the briefcase. But at the end of the day, seeing Seth win, no big surprise. We figured that was going to be the case. I was just a little bit like, oh man, that would have been nice for LA Knight. But now that just tells me he's got to wait.
and it was in his hometown too.
They were in his hometown, and it just means that they're gonna have to wait that much longer before we ever see LA Knight in a main title picture, because they're already talking about Braun being the next chosen one, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman kind of foreshadowed that on Thursday in his promo, when he discussed each one of the members with Seth Rollins, and he's already touted Braun as the next champion for
Banning
WWE.
45, 46, 47, 48,
48.
49.
And it's like, oh, so where's LA Knight in there? Maybe he might get in there in 44. Because I do want to see LA Knight get the title at some point too,
Yeah.
So it's just like I want to see Sami Zayn get the title at one point, at some point. I don't know if those are ever going to be in the picture because you still got to get CM Punk in there somewhere. I
Yeah.
would think. So it's just one of those things. But again, the ladder match itself was good. The guys put on a good show, but I still think I like the women's a little bit better, mostly because, like I said, interruption stuff with the rest of the guys, I just like, all right.
Yeah, and I think the only biggest factor about that was the Jacob Fatu thing. I think when I ain't gonna lie, okay,
So
to
that
see my
tsunami.
man, bruh, okay, and I was about to say the Samoan drop that he hit on the I said, wow, I said, man, come on, it picks him up, drops him, and nigga
Come on,
goes crazy. I said,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
Big Blood is out here going crazy tonight. But you know what I think too? I agree. I think you know what I think. This kind of told me, low key. I was like, nah, I don't think LA Knight's winning this. And I know y'all gonna think, Eric, this is pretty random to say. I tell y'all, look. So look, when they was doing the pre-show, right? I had some kids. I forgot what the donation was. Some from Los Angeles or whatever. Just for the that's right for the homes and the families that had lost their homes in the wildfire, right?
Yeah.
And, and there was a couple out there, and then they bring LA Knight out. I said, okay, bet. LA Knight out here. I said, makes sense. It's his town. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to make it about him. I thought he was about to cut a promo about the whole Money in the Bank. Nah, did it for the kids, right? There's one kid named Cayenne, right? And I blame you, Cayenne, low key. I blame this one kid. I don't know what it is with the kids, but I feel like the kids be killing the wrestlers' momentum at times. The kid asks, who's your favorite wrestler? You don't have to say me because I'm right here. This kid gonna say CM. Oh, man, I said, man, come on. And you can hear the crowd. Uh-huh. Like we was hoping you was gonna say
Yeah.
LA Cayenne. What you doing? You gonna say CM Punk? This is why LA Knight lost.
Yeah, and it
You
was in that
jinxed it.
moment.
I knew. I said, man, Cayenne to mess it up for LA Knight. They probably said, yeah, you know what? We're gonna go with Seth. Don't pull the trigger on LA Knight. That
Yeah.
was the moment that ruined it for everybody. Blame Cayenne. Crazy, craziness. But of course, the last match. You know, man, this was a match that we really didn't expect much, but we did get one thing. It wasn't lies. It wasn't fibs. It wasn't false accusations. Nah, we got truth. And I ain't talking our truth. Look, we got my man Ron Killings. Okay. Apparently, they're saying our truth got released. Ron Killings is who got re signed. Triple H want to talk about, this was a word. Stop playing. Look, you're not about to pull the wool over my eyes like the way y'all did WrestleMania 40. I see right through you, Tommaso Ciampa. I'm going to tell you right now, Trip, you ain't slick. You can't say that our truth getting released was a work. So was Carlito. That was a work. Is he coming back too? Who's he going to come back as? Lito? I don't know. I have no idea. You're killing me with this. I love to see it though. The crowd popped. First of all, we just seen somebody beating our John Cena. We didn't nobody know who it was. As soon as I seen some black skin, I said, well, who is this? I said, this guy, it's somebody. I ain't know who. But as soon as I seen the thing, I said, I think that's our truth. I said, this is crazy. Our truth. And the crowd pops. People cry. Babies cry. Kathy Kelly, you see now she got emotional talking about it. It's a good thing to see. But again, I wonder what's next for our truth. What's next for Ron Killings? Ain't like he smiled that whole time. He was serious. Very serious. So I could be Ron Killings. Could even be little Jimmy for all we know. Heartbreak Prince. What's your thoughts, man? What you think? Because also
Yeah.
that match was still
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think the match itself was pretty good. I did like the spot with Logan Paul. He had a couple of spots that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
The suplex off the rope while holding the camera, so you can kind of see that motion and all that kind of stuff was dope. But the what do they call it? Acai moonsault or whatever it's
the
called.
Moonsault, yeah, to Jay. That was crazy.
That was sick. Like I said, you talk about putting your body on the line. I know you're gonna feel that the next day.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And
That
Jay
was
felt
sick.
it
That
too.
was dope.
Pause.
Oh yeah. Yeet. But yeah, that was dope. I for a second there they had me because I thought I'm like, oh, they're actually gonna have John Cena and them go over in this because when John got in the ring with the belt, and I was like, oh, Lord, he's about to hit Cody, about to do another cheap shot. But I think the story of the whole thing was just seeing Ron Killings, come into the ring, assault John Cena, and then reveal himself that he was back. It was a feel good moment because it was one of those things where the fans really were behind R-Truth or Ron Killings, and I think it was the fandom themselves that kind of forced the hand of leadership within WWE to have to make the decision to bring somebody like R-Truth back, and not just the fans, because it was apparent as well that the wrestlers in the back, the talent themselves were highly disappointed in the fact that they let R-Truth go in the way they did it. Now, I feel like, and this is just my theory, if they had given R-Truth the respect he deserved, as far as allowing him to say, "Hey, I'm finishing out my contract. This is the last year, or I got 3 more months left. This is my farewell tour," type of thing, to be able to come out and address the crowd like many wrestlers in the past have had the opportunity to do when they were having to either walk away from wrestling or whatever. You think of the Edge, you can think of Daniel Bryan, you think of um, uh,
Hell, even Tommaso Ciampa at one point for a
Tommaso
little bit.
Ciampa did it, but I'm Daniel Bryan is what I was thinking about. These different wrestlers have gotten the opportunity. John Cena's getting a whole year, a whole farewell tour. Now, I'm not saying Ron Killings is to the level of John Cena as far as what he's done in the WWE, but he's up there, and he's respected by many people in the back, as far as wrestlers and the fans. And so I think we would have coped with it as fans better if we would have had that knowledge of like, hey, this is going to happen, and he was able to address and say thank you and all that kind of stuff. Not just this, I get a phone call and we're not renewing your contract, you're done. After 17, almost 20 years in the business with WWE specifically. Um, so yeah, so it's good to see that he's back. That's my little rant about that. Just the way you treat people and the way
Yeah.
you do business is important, and so uh, they got this right as far as being able to bring him back. I don't know how long it's going to be. We don't know how long it's going to be for, whatever, but give him the opportunity to go out in a better way than just, you're being released. And there's no, especially after you're just seeing him main event a pay-per-view of John Cena, have a wrestling match on SmackDown, and then the next day he's not coming back. Like, get out of here,
And the pop and reactions he's been getting.
man.
Like, and you say,
And
yeah,
it's crazy.
let's just release him.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the WWE, when they talk all the time about money. I know this is business, is about making money, but you talk about the man leads, has led in merch sales. He was talking about that on the Van Vliet show, like his Judgment Day shirt and stuff like that. Led in sales, and I'm sure the Ron Killings release that they had last night on WWE Shop is probably going to lead. The fans, for whatever reason, have this relationship with him where R-Truth is just one of those. He is one of the wonders of the world.
For
And it
real.
just
Now he really
it
is.
really is. He really is. I don't know. And I wasn't there for a lot of his journey, because I had stopped watching wrestling for a while. But when I came back to it, he was still doing his thing. He was I want to say at the time he was with Goldust, and they were the Golden Truth or something like that. They had just formed the Golden
Yeah.
Truth. And so he was doing things there. But yeah, I think it's amazing that, like I said, they decided to go ahead and bring him back. The fact that he interfered, got to beat up on John Cena a little bit. He doesn't seem like the R-Truth of old. Like this, it seems like this is going to be a new kind of a character for him. I don't know what this means. Are we going to see another John Cena see a John Cena versus Ron Killings match because of the way that he handled business with John Cena in the ring just last night? It's going to be interesting to see because we talked about this before, and I really don't see him going this way. But if it does, I think it would be amazing of Ron Killings winning the championship. Do you think like the WWE fandom would like that? Would like to see that?
Oh,
Would appreciate that? Would that be best for business?
I think that might be on
How
the
would they
same level
receive
as
it?
Jey Uso. I think that'd be the same level as Jey Uso's pop, if
Yeah,
not a little bit more, just
yeah,
because it's our truth.
yeah. And you don't, because if I'm correct, he's never held the championship in his entire time in WWE.
Nah.
And so it would be interesting, and I wonder how the crowd will react, even if it's just for a short time, but just to, put that
Yeah.
in his belt, because I do think he's going to be a WWE Hall of Famer. I don't think you can not have R-Truth in the Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like I said, I'm just happy he's back. I thought the way he interfered in that match was great. I loved to see the pop. Even I got hyped when I was just watching it. It got me up out of my seat and up on the TV screen screaming, yelling, because it was like, man, like they listened, they brought him back, they gave the fans, what we asked and what we wanted. They've been chanting, "We want truth" on Raw, on NXT, and they gave him truth. So that's dope.
It was, man. It was great. But it was good to see what they was doing. The press conference, they did a lot of things. Triple H said, this was a work. So we'll see how this goes. And I'm looking forward to how Monday Night Raw is going to be looking for me for that mid card and everything else as a whole. But as always, please make sure y'all follow us on all of our social medias, okay? Facebook, we on that. Instagram, we on that. X, we on that. TikTok, we on that as well. Make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, and always just drop a comment for us because we're always going to give you content the exclusive way.
We appreciate the
Yeah,
support. We really do. Thank you so
we
much.
do. Hey, keep liking it up. Keep subscribing to us, man. We're going to keep giving y'all new segments, new things. Look, we got a lot of new things coming up very, very soon. So y'all be ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Get ready.
Oh, man. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We had the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the exclusive nights, and we always strive to make sure that we are the best there
Best
is,
there is,
best there
the best there
was,
was,
best
and
there
the
ever
best there
will
ever
be.
will be.
And to ensure that your nights will always and never be
Be the same.
the same. Y'all be good.
Ah, ah, ah,
Bam,
ah,
bam, bam.
ah.